The first time I heard about it was in African Leading Ladies when you were invited to talk to us.
Ah,
And prior to that, there were, I think, some people who were invited too to talk about why you need a mentor, why you need a coach.
oh,
And they kept on, telling us, and people were asking questions. I'm not doing a professional job. I'm just a businesswoman. Why do I need a coach? And somebody said, oh, because everybody needs a coach in life, no
yes.
matter what place you are in. And as in Kenya, we don't take those things too seriously
No, we don't. No, we
as
don't.
compared to here. So this coaching thing, I came to realize that it's even very, very important here. And
Yes.
I first started going to the coaching when I started affiliate marketing. That's when I
Aha.
had, about coaching and mentorship. So I
Yes.
thought, you know what? When I saw this, I'm like, okay, Seraphine, Coach Seraphine, I want to know more about what she's talking about. And that's how I think I emailed you and say, thinking into results. Why thinking into results? So I just wanted to know more, and get coach with you because
Yes.
of the things you were saying were
Yes.
really making sense to me. And I wanted to, better myself. So that's how I met you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Well, sometimes people just meet by chance, but it seems that it is designed to be that way.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Okay. So, what was your experience? I mean, you've had some coaching use through your MLM experience. So, what was your experience? I'm the kind of coach that is direct, very candid. I don't mince my words. This sometimes earns me a lot of friends, but it has also earned me a lot of people who cannot stand my face. The kind of coach I am, I'm firm, I am assertive, and I have clear rules of engagement that a lot of people find difficult to deal with, because you see, when we are already adult, we find that we work, we are in charge of ourselves, and for this reason we don't get that much feedback. And when we don't get feedback, we go about things in a way that can be haphazard, but everybody assumes that because we are adults already, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can make so many mistakes in this adulthood that are not corrected because we are not getting as much feedback, and we're not even inviting that feedback until a coach comes in. But when a coach comes in, a coach comes with certain requirements that an adult person is generally not accustomed to, and usually has a difficult time taking. How did that work for you?
Excuse me. That worked well for me because born in Kenya, raised in Kenya, going to school in Kenya,
Yes,
we have teachers that don't have time to sugarcoat.
that's true.
So I think it clicked so well with me because that is how I was raised. Like if you're
Mhm.
doing something to do it, and I also I think click because I don't have that passion. If you're going to do something, do it.
Yes.
And growing up, I didn't have a mother, I didn't have a father to take care of me. So most of the time I used to make my own decisions. And I realized that if I make the right decision, it was gonna, help me. Wrong decision cost me.
Yes.
So when you came in and you say, I'm a coach, I'm not gonna, follow you up. It's you. You are the one supposed to work on yourself. So I
Yes.
said, you see, this is the type of coaching I want. So
Yes.
when I compare it with the MLM, the one I was doing the coaching is
Yes.
kind of nurturing.
Yes.
You didn't understand, that's okay. How is it okay? But I didn't understand. Oh, don't worry about it. Yes, I should worry
You
about it.
should worry
So
about
it
it.
was kind of like nurturing. It's like, but I didn't want that type of life because life is not about that way. Life is
No.
tough and you
No.
can't face life with a lot of sugarcoating, a lot of nurturing. So when you came in and you are tough, straight to the point, you have to do the work. I said, this is what I want. I wanted somebody who was going to get me out of my comfort zone and make me, do the work. If you're challenged, you do the work. But if you're nurtured and everything is okay, we say it. I'm a parent. If you just nurture, it's okay, it's okay. I don't think you're bringing up somebody who's going to be responsible.
No.
Okay, they wake up, they don't do their bed. You're like, it's okay.
It's not
No,
okay.
have to do it. And
Yes.
sometimes it needs, people to be that firm
Firm.
for others to realize because this is something that's going to help you. So for me, I didn't have an hard to. I like it was not tough for me. I just said this is the type of person I want.
Good to so what did you learn that you didn't already know? Coaching, most people come to coaching expecting that the coach is going to give them solutions. And the first thing I say to people when we start working together is that I don't have solutions for you. You have all the solutions. My job as a coach is to look at your life from the outside in and see the things that you don't see, because when you're very close to your life,
Mhm.
sometimes all these things that happen in your life are things that have become normal over time. So at times it's harder to recognize the ways in which you're not doing your best, the ways in which you're not being in your best element, because you're too close to your life. A different eye, a different pair of eyes from the outside in will always see something different.
That's true.
What did you, and that's why I say that, you come to coaching, first and foremost, the willingness to come to coaching is 50% of the work done. Then the amount of work you do is 40% of the work done. The only bit I do is 10%. In fact, sometimes that's even more than the work I do, because a willing student and a ready student and an open-minded student does most of the work. Those are the people who find that coaching benefits them the most. So how was that like for you? What did you learn?
That's a great question. So when I came in, I remember the first day, introduced the topic that we were going to learn about, and, the videos that you're playing. And one thing I knew was I was a work in progress. Already I started working on myself.
Right.
So getting something that was going to help me work more on myself was even a better decision for me to make.
Yes.
Because by that time I was working on changing my belief system. I had like a very fixed mind about my belief system. And I think I shared it during the coaching.
Yes.
My belief system hold me hostage, because if somebody says something and then it was always offending me, or I take it a different way, because my belief system was very different.
Right.
So once I identified that this is what I want to work on, and I remember you giving us a lot of, example, the paradigm shifts, what you believe in, what's your potential.
Yes.
So this kind of made work easier for me, because I was able to identify the particular place that I was going to work on. I remember you also gave us like a long sheet of where to work in. Is it your finances? Is it your marriage life? Is it your work? Is it, so for me, it was about
the dashboard. I remember,
the dashboard. Yes. So it was about me. So I figured out this is the place I want to work on. And I had enough resources, enough books to refer to, enough questions to answer about myself. Yes. So that made it, very, very easy for me to identify particular areas I wanted to work on.
Thank you. Usually when people come to coaching, a lot of people expect that it's just going to be mentorship about professional life. But that's what you get in a corporate environment. They mentor you on how to become a better worker within that organization. But it's totally different, because for me, when people walk through my doors, the first thing I want to know is, who are you as a person? Let's take off the titles. Let's take off your money. Let's take off everything else. Who are you at the end of the day when we take off everything? That's the person I want to deal with. And that person is usually a mom, a dad, a sister, a brother, a friend, a worker, an educated person, a non-educated person, a community member. That person is a wholesome individual, so you cannot take out his education or his work experience and deal with them as a parent only, because that parent works somewhere. That parent went through some kind of schooling. That parent had so many experiences. So I roll all that into one, and that's why I give a dashboard. And many people are surprised that, Seraphine, you need to know all this about me. Yes, I do need to know all that about you. I know it can be intrusive. Was it intrusive for you?
Kind of.
Yes. I was waiting for that admission.
We love when things are easy. When things are tough, we tend to back off.
Yes.
Not knowing that is what is going to help you. You do the tough things, and you get an easy life. You do the easy thing and you get a tough life. So obvious at human nature, we always tend to back off. This is so tough. Everybody wow, am I going to? Yeah. But I think it's the best. It's the best.
Why? Why do you think it's the best?
Because it made me work hard.
It made you work hard.
It made me work hard, because you're able to identify those who are really working and those who are not.
Yes.
So I'm like, I paid money for this. And Seraphine is not all about my money. She want to change my life. And you're going to get to work. So I think that was the best part of it, because you have to work. It's not a matter of just sitting down and just listening, but you have to do the job. Because in the beginning, you have to ask us a question before we go into the next topic to make sure that did we do the work.
Exactly.
So I think that was good.
That accountability part really makes all the difference. The part where you talk about doing the work, what most people think that you can come to coaching and listen.
Yeah.
And when you hear the coach say this and say that, and you can resonate with it, then you have come to coaching. You have not come to coaching. You've not come to coaching until you have done the work, because all the success you're looking for, all the advancement you're looking for is hiding in the work, not in my words, you know. And sometimes when I speak, people say, oh, Seraphine, I could listen to you all day. That's not the point, you know.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The
Yeah,
point is
I agree. I agree. I
go
remember
beyond the listening and
when you
roll up your sleeves and do the work, you know.
That's true. I agree. When we were at the coaching, I remember one of us asked, I mean, say that I want to be like you. And your answer was, I don't want you to be like me.
No, I don't.
I want you to be a better version of you.
Yes.
So, you know, when we come in, we listen to you, we want to be like you, but we don't want to work on ourselves because we can't be the same.
Yes.
We have to be the better version of us. So that's
there's a different part of you. I mean, at the end of the day, Nora, I think we are all interconnected. When we think, I mean, you just mentioned something that I didn't know. You said when you grew up, you had no mom, no dad to give you direction. I'm sure you grew up through other people. And for the most part of my life, I grew up being raised by other people. It's a whole different experience. And we can talk about that whole experience at different times.
That's true.
But what that did for me is that it forced me to take decisions that I probably wasn't ready to take at such a young age. I was leaving home. By 19, I was living on my own. I find in Canada, that's very normal. You know, most kids leave home, they probably live with a boyfriend by 18, by 19.
Yeah,
but in Kenya, as you know, that's not something that's usually done. You're still, you know, going through university, you're still going through college. But by 19, I was living on my own. And I made a lot of mistakes. You know, when you don't have parental discretion, you don't have parental guidance, it's room for a lot of mistakes. And for that reason, you know, there's so many different kinds of coaches. There are those of us who have learned information and learned a lot of the theory, and we are certified, and then we start coaching. I was a coach before I even learned the certification from my coach and mentor, who I really respect, Bob Proctor. But I understood much later that I was a coach even before. And, you know, I think I mentioned this during your season of coaching, that my husband would always tell me, you know, I think you should train people. And I thought, no, I don't want to train people, because I was working with salespeople in my company. I was training them. And sometimes my clients would poach my salespeople, and it would be so frustrating. I'm thinking, I have to hire a whole new team and I have to train them again. But that was already training for me, and I didn't understand it. So we are all coaches. And I think as an LMM practitioner yourself, you know very well that even as you run along the day, the current life that you lead on a regular basis, you're coaching somebody. You just don't call it that, but we are all coaches, you know?
That's true. That's true. We need to be, certified. That's, you know, the big picture. Like, oh, I need a certification to know that I'm a coach, because, you know, everybody will be like, are you satisfied? I mean, certified. And you're like, no, but so it keeps on bugging me. Sometimes I'm like, but I need, you know, proper document to show that I'm a coach. But like you said, everybody is a coach.
Your experience will show that you're a coach. Your experience, you see, if you had the certification, but no life experience to talk about, no challenges that you've surmounted to talk about, the certification doesn't mean much for anybody who wants to work with you. Because look, the great part of being a coach is being able to share some of your experiences that people can relate to. Because you don't want to be talking at people, you want to be talking to people. You know, if you're talking at people, you might as well just write a book and send it out. You know, but the whole point of coaching is sharing. You cannot share things you don't have. So the experience is even more important than the coaching process, the certification, which will give you a process, it will give you a structure. And it's very important. I'm not discounting it. It's very important. But that alone does not make anybody a coach. And I think that one of the things that most of my clients tell me is that I share myself, you know, I share myself. Then they can hear parts of themselves in my stories. They can hear some of the experiences in my stories. And that only helps because, you know, when coaching people have to share with you for you to understand where they're stuck at. And sometimes they don't even know they're stuck at a certain point until they share something. And that sharing is more forthcoming when you as the coach is able to share. And you're able to allow yourself to be vulnerable sometimes. Because you see, when people have challenges, it's difficult for them to share. That's why they have the challenges in the first place.
That's true.
But when you start sharing your story, that's when they realize, oh, You mean she seems pretty organized? She seems to have it all together. You mean she had the same problem? I have the same problem, so I'm all right. Then they start to open up because you have sort of opened the way, you have paved it for them to say, it's okay, let's talk about it. I've had these challenges, it's nothing new, there's no judgment here, it helps. That's more important than a coaching certification, Nora.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Like you say that, I remember when I started the MLM business, I was like, these people are so successful. But when we go in for the webinars and they share their life history and you see the struggle they're going through, it's a daily, whatever you're struggling with, but how they overcome it is what makes them different.
Exactly.
So everybody will just, relate to what you're going through. So the experience is more important than the certification.
It's more important than the certification. The certification will help you get some structure, understand how to be a lot more empathetic, understand how to extract information from people, especially when you're working one-on-one, which is very important. But your experience is more important, and being able to share that experience in a confident way that allows others to feel confident that their challenges are nothing new, they're not unique, and there are solutions to those challenges, because there's no problem without a solution.
That's true. That's very true.
What do you tell people who are thinking of enrolling with Seraphine?
So
your smile,
this is something I've been telling people. There is one thing for going to coaching for the sake, because everybody's going. Just like starting business.
Everybody's going.
People start business because everybody's starting a business. There's more money when you start your own business. But if you're going for coaching with a reason, why am I going for coaching? Why do I need to go for coaching? So anybody want to start, I just would love to tell them, first of all, you have to examine yourself and know the reason why you want to go for coaching. Nowadays, everybody, is going for coaching, but what are you, what do you want to achieve at the end of the coaching?
Yes.
So you have to really know your why, the reason why you're going for coaching. And, second of all, are you ready? Are you ready to do the work?
Good question.
Because coaching is not about just sitting there, absorbing, going to class, absorbing and coming back and just going back, because that will not do you no good. No. It's going to waste a lot of your time. So if I meet someone today and they want to go for coaching, those are the two questions that I will ask. Why?
Why?
And are you ready to do the job? Yep.
And why this particular coach?
And why the particular coach? That's true.
Why this particular coach? She's firm. She can be candid. She can be abrupt. She doesn't mince her words either. Why this particular coach?
They scare people away, but to me, I think, it was tough. Like, oh, will I do this? And then part of you say, yes, you have to do it, because it's not all about, it's not going to be easy. Everything is hard. So do it the hard way, and get a good result, or do it the easy way and just get a easy result, or mediocre result. So it is somebody's choice.
Yeah.
But I think it depends with the individual too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What have you done since? What has been your greatest benefit, would you say?
Oh my goodness, I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. I think I shared this during the coaching session. I had a lot of insecurity around my English language.
Yes.
I couldn't stand somebody telling me I have an accent, which I came to realize was my belief system, and I had to work on that. So I've worked on that. I've come out and doing my Facebook lives on my page without, thinking of, people are going to judge me or what, how do the accent, how is my English? So I'm coming out of the shell.
Yes.
I'm coming out of the shell. I'm working on myself, knowing that it's my belief system. So how do I look at myself? What's my potential?
Yes.
How do I look myself? Because I used to think about how people will look at me, and forgetting, you brought up very nice when you ask us about how do you look at yourself. Even if you asked that, we were still answering a question from people's perspective. I remember when you were talking, and every time we'd go off the topic and start talking about somebody made me this way. No, it's not that person who made you that way. It is in you. So since then, I'm working on myself. Everything I want to do, I have to ask myself, my belief system. Right. So that is one thing. I've read the books that you recommended. I read As the Man Thinketh. change the way you think,
Yes.
what you think about all day long.
Right.
I read, Bob Proctor's book, You Are Born Rich.
Yes.
The belief about money, that was the part that really caught me, because when
Exactly.
I was growing up, I didn't have that kind of thinking around money. I had
Yes.
those fixed mindset about money. I've read, Nice Girls Don't Sit at the Corner
Oh,
Office. That's one
especially
of the
that
books
one.
that you
Yes.
recommended. Yes.
Yes.
And knowing how to communicate
Yes.
and when to say no. When we talked about the selfish, everybody is selfish.
Everybody.
When you're saying no to another person, you're saying yes to to yourself.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that I've worked through. We talked about the terror barrier. I know how to identify it and make sure that it go through it, because when it's coming, I know to identify it. So I'm still working on myself.
Good.
And I think I'm making progress in the right direction.
I
but
am
the
so
biggest
proud.
one
My
is
God,
to
at this point
overcome
in
my
time,
insecurities.
At this point in time, I should take this conversation and just put it on a billboard outside somewhere. I'm so happy
Which
for
I
you.
don't think I would do, because when I joined a group that we used to do the 90-day video challenge, where you'd sit in front of the camera, because so many people, okay, me included, we don't like to hear our voices recorded. We don't want to see our faces on camera.
Yeah, people
so
are shy.
that was to overcome that. But
Yeah.
just going out there, how people are going to listen, how I have an accent. So these are the things, just overcome them, and I'm still working on myself.
I'm so glad to hear that.
So I've gained a lot, and like I told you, I don't think it's going to end soon. It's a work in progress, which it's lifetime.
We are all work in progress. I'm still work in progress. It never quite ends. The more I think I've worked on myself, the more I realize, no, I need to do more work.
More, yeah, that's true.
Yes. Remember when you hit the terror barrier, you come to a new normal, and then now you have other challenges.
Another one.
Yes, because we are growth-seeking organisms. We are always growing, and we must always grow, because we'll never really reach our potential. Never. It's too high. It's too great for us to ever reach in this lifetime. But we keep seeking. That's how we keep growing.
That's true.
Thank you so much, Nora, for your time. I really appreciate you taking time to share your experience with us, share this with our viewers, and I can't wait to speak with you again.